Hello and welcome. This is the Camera Lounge coming to you from the stable of Camera Joint, Nigeria's #1 camera store. I'm Kayode Alayande. Welcome to the show. As we've been doing in the last couple of weeks, we've been talking to creatives in Nigeria, and this special series is speaking with photographers, professional photographers in Nigeria. And I'm happy to tell you that we have our first lady on the show. You'll meet her in just a moment if you don't go away. Lights, camera, action. All right, so welcome back. I have with me in the studio, like I told you earlier, she's the first lady we're having on the show. She's a child photographer, family photographer, and of course, newborn photographer. Welcome with me, Adesuwa of Captured by Adesuwa. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here.
Yes, so it's been days now since we've been talking about you coming, and now we're here. So, but your name is Enoshowa Eworo.
Yes.
And then you're running Captured by
Adesuwa.
Adesuwa.
Yes.
So what's in the mix?
Okay. All my documents read Enoshowa Eworo, right? And I wanted something different for my brand name. So I went with Adesuwa. Adesuwa was going to be my grandfather, which means born into prosperity. So, I mean, I not channel the prosperity.
Come on, I like that.
Yeah, so hence Captured by Adesuwa.
You could have done any kind of photography, but you chose newborn. Not even child photography. Newborn comes first and then child photography and family photography. Where are all these things coming from?
It's a build-up of a lot of interesting things, actually. Growing up, I had this love and passion for children. Like when my mom's friends will give birth, they'll literally ask, "Oh, is there no on holiday? Please let her come over," because I was like a baby whisperer. Like I could make their babies sleep, I could make the babies calm, and I realized that it's inherited from my dad. He has those magic hands as well. Yes. So as I got older, I realized that I love children. Like, they're so unscripted, so cute, you know.
I like that. I've never heard that before. Children are so unscripted.
Yeah, they're unscripted.
Now that Twitter is back, we can tweet that, right?
Yeah, please put my name there. And they're just exciting, pretty much. They might be stressful, but the memories are what we look back on and smile. Yeah, so. And I didn't like the ideas of events, having to ensure you're not missing a particular moment and people rushing you, we done.
Wow.
Like, no.
Okay, so yes, you love children, you're great around them and stuff like that, but you could have channeled that into nursing or any other kind of thing. Why photography?
Okay, I'm an architect by education, right? Nursing, I don't like the medical field.
No, I just said that.
Yeah, I'm just imagining that.
You could have decided to build toys for children.
Yeah, but for photography, I think in retrospect, my dad did a good job documenting our childhood. He was a photography enthusiast. He had this really cute camera.
He wasn't a photographer.
No,
he just loved to take pictures.
Yes. So he had the camera, and pretty much every step of our growing up, we had pictures. So we have them littered everywhere, but my mom has done a good job of keeping them together. So I think, you know, this subconscious thing whereby you're not sure why you're doing something, but somehow it just plays out. Yeah.
So more like captured by daddy, curated by mom.
Yeah, we can say that. Yeah, and birthed, captured by this one.
Come on, great,
Sorry.
great. So I feel you. So on the one hand, you loved children, you loved to be around them. But on the other hand, your father was taking pictures. So what cemented those two pillars for you?
Okay, I've been a creative child right from time. I love the creative aspect. So I will draw. I used to write storybooks and I would do my illustrations myself. Then computer era came. We started doing, there was this app called Photoscape. I'll do artworks, graphic works. And then back in secondary school, there will be events and I'll just use my phone and take pictures. If you go to my Facebook page, anyone who's looking for any incriminating picture pretty much goes there. And if I pick, well, good incriminating though, like throwbacks pretty much, yes. So they would find pictures there. So I just really love the idea of documenting moments. I just love that you could want to look back on how things used to be and all you have are your pictures to remind you of things like that.
At what point did it begin to look like, oh, I might not just do architecture, I might just as well be a photographer?
And that would be when I was in 300 level, when I was in my industrial training. I would have to be at the office 9 to 5, but in reality 8 to 6. And you'll be at the desk doing the same thing over and over again, revising plans, doing this. It was fun, but it was too stereotyped, too rigid, too expected, too everything. And just like, nope, it can't be me. I'm not going to do early morning, enter Lagos traffic, come back tired, resume again, heck no. So I'm like, I think I might have a chance in photography. Right? I already loved photography. I already had friends doing photography. So I had them as friends, I had them as egbons. So I'm like, yeah, it has to be photography. I can't do architecture because I don't want to be in the office, because before you get the leverage of having to go to, oh, I'm going to site today, you have to have done architecture for at least 3 years. You have to have.
And that path was just too slow for you.
Yeah, but it wasn't that it was too slow. It was just that it was the same thing.
Routine.
Yes.
There are millions and hundreds of millions of Nigerians who I like photography. Perhaps 90% of them just never follow through. Mm-hmm. They have the passion, they have the talent. Some of them may have taken trainings, but they never became photographers. So what sealed it for you? What steps did you take to ensure that it was not just a passion you followed through?
I had this really close friend, Adesuwa. He's a documentary photographer, yes. So he was pretty much like in my corner kind of person, yes. So just shared, oh, I want to start this photography thing. I said, okay, that works, that's cool. There was this other photographer, he's pretty much like, I can't say I started photography without him. That's Oniroko Femi. He was a child photographer. So my uncle, or my big brother just had a baby girl, and I'm like, oh, finally a child model for me, right? So I called him up because I saw this really amazing image he created.
So let me stop you a bit.
Okay.
So you were clear about the fact that the kind of photography you wanted to do was child photography.
Yes, I didn't do the delving into this or that, these different genres and say, oh, these children. No, just went head on, children, family, newborn. Yes.
And you didn't care about whether it was going to be lucrative or not?
No, because starting it out for me was more of fun. I didn't really say, oh, it's all about the money at that point. It was, oh, let's build the awareness, let parents know that, oh, this is something you should do because it's worth a lifetime, right? So we do pro bono shoots, especially in church, my church people, God bless them. So I was, your baby is so cute, can I take you a picture? You do photo shoot, okay. So they'll bring their kids, I'll take some in church, I'll invite them over, okay, let's take a picture at my space, and things like that. So from then, creating content, having a portfolio to show people this is what you can achieve, yes. So, and news went wild, getting the right people to shoot, offering the right people, a cool shoot, and they're like, okay, no problem. How much is it? Oh, it's a gift, ma. Oh, really? It's a gift? Yes, okay. Here's the child, you shoot, and they're impressed, and they're, oh, really? So people do this? I thought it's only abroad that they do this kind of thing. Or, this is interesting. I'm going to tell my friend about you.
So would you say there are things that really set you apart?
I believe what sets me apart is the notion or the idea that I'm documenting kings and queens, right? So every child for me is treated that way, irrespective of background or who your parent is or what they choose you to wear for the shoot. I just go with the mindset that you're kings, you're a queen. So I'm doing my best to portray royalty, elegance, class, so that when you look upon it years to come, you're like, oh, this auntie was getting me.
I read somewhere where, people were commenting about your work and saying that Adesuwa has a way she handles children, and she seems to understand them and all of that. Tell me about that whole process.
Okay, so I'm here today being prim and proper, but in real life, I'm a goofball. With children, I tell people that you can't be a boss because they are the boss at that point. You can't be prim and proper, you have to be goofy. Like if you see someone playing with a child, you'll be wondering, is this person high? Like you're making sounds, blah, 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 blah. And you're hey, good job. You're like, okay. So it's pretty much bringing yourself to their level, right? And for me is understanding that a child is acting a certain way for a reason. So you have to come down to their level, especially the older kids, maybe toddlers and the preteens also. They want to trust you pretty much. And I think for older people too, there's a level of trust you want to get before you feel vulnerable. So for kids, they want to feel that they trust you. So how do you trust somebody? Somebody that you feel, oh, you can relate with that person, yes. So a typical session, the child comes in, they're not used to the space, so they're probably holding on to their parents. They don't want to touch the floor. So you make the atmosphere ready for them, put their favorite cartoon. So before sessions, we ask, oh, what does your child like? Favorite cartoon, favorite thing, favorite sound. So what they are coming in, that sound is on. So they're, oh, okay, first step, comfortable. We tell them bring their toys along, just in case they just need things that are familiar. So when we get in and we meet them, the goofiness begins. You're like, hello, cutie, high five, and they're looking at you, and you just have to show them, oh, trust me. So either you give their parent a high five, and they say, okay, my daddy likes you. Okay, my mommy likes you.
That's some child psychology there.
Yeah, I guess. So, okay. So give me a high five. He's still skeptical. So maybe daddy takes the child's hand and, okay, give auntie a high five. Okay, that works. Start bringing toys, start dancing, you start gesticulating pretty much.
That takes time, doesn't it?
Let's give top 30 minutes for a child who is very close to their parents. 30 minutes for a child close to their parents? No, give 1 hour. But for a child who is not too clingy but also still expressive, maybe 20 minutes in between. So while we're doing that, we're also setting up. So the child is seeing what is going on. Then you're putting props on the set, and the child starts scrolling on their own there because you're enticing the child. Yeah, but you've sort of built the bubble of trust. So we have the team also. I said, look, not only me, so my assistant. Oh yeah, go and play your own also. Yeah, so they'll do little play because I'm the one behind the camera, so I can't do the playing as well. So the assistant has to. Yeah, so they do the goofing around. In fact, there was a shoot I had and the child was very clingy to my assistant. We're like, you're saying boyfriend, though, because she didn't want to leave him at all. Like, if anybody's making her laugh and if she's not laughing, once he just turns and she just sees it, she's like, these children. So they know fine people. Okay. So pretty much just letting them trust you and yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask this though. Have you ever had a child that
I didn't trust us?
Like just all these sweet nothings that just didn't work, And did it get you to the edge of fear that you were not going to be able to deliver?
Yes, definitely. I'm trying to remember one. I wish someone can show me a picture of someone, of one child. But the one I will remember very vividly was when I pretty much just started. So the mom was outside the country. So she gave me her brief, oh, this is what she wants, and told me the grandparents were going to bring the child over for the shoot. I said, okay. Now that I know, thank God, if not for that experience, I wouldn't have put some certain things in structure for my business. So the grandmother comes with the grandfather and brings about five cousins, brings 2 aunties and brings a nanny into my small space. So everywhere was so rowdy, and so because the child is also seeing so many familiar faces that she knows, then a lot of unfamiliar faces. So it was, I'm pretty much sure now that it was just all scrambled up in the child's mind.
Yeah.
So we'll put her on the set, she would wail, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? So we'll bring her out of the set and she will be laughing. Hey, we'll take her back to the set and she will cry. We had to bring her juice. We had to take pictures of her in the juice, with the juice there, to the point that I had...
Branded juice.
Yeah, so... to the point that I had to... It got so bad that I was just like, well, I think we started that shoot by 9, and as at 2 p.m. we hadn't gotten through to her. So I put her in the car with her nanny.
2
p.m. 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
What?
Yeah, yes. So I remember that I had to put her in the car with her nanny, and we drove around the estate, around the area, because I was like, the mother is not around. She won't understand that.
But as this was going on, you know, the child is one thing, but when you also keep adults
in this
in that situation from 9 to 2, were they cooperative?
Well, the adults, they were entertained, you know, gave them chops, munching, and the grandma, I think, if I remember correctly, she was already getting worried, like, let us forget this shoot. But I think she called the mom, and mom said, I paid money for this shoot, so it has to happen. If she needs to sleep and wake up, let that happen. So I remember that was when we took her around, and coming back, she slept in the car. And I think as soon as we got into the studio, she just woke up and started crying again.
Wow.
That I was at that point panic, like I don't know what to do again. I mean, if somebody's money was not on the line, I'll be like, please, people should come and go home, I'm done. But the mom already had an idea of what she wanted to see and things like that. But I think we changed the set, because I'm like, we can't continue on this set. So we changed the set, and the grandma said, oh, the mommy wants her cousins to take pictures with her. I looked with a crying child. I'm like, mommy, it won't be possible. And she's like, that's what she said though. So I said, okay, no problem. We brought out the kids. At that point, I was exhausted. Grandma is even exhausted. So I brought out the kids. We took a picture. And by the time the kids left the set, she started smiling.
That was your moment.
I'm like, why didn't they shoot behind the beginning? And like I said, we were already tired. So I wasn't even particular about what my light was looking at that time. Just like, she's smiling, okay, let's shoot. And I think at that time, it was probably almost 5 o'clock already. So the parents had to go. I think they were coming for quite a distance. So they're like, they just have to wrap it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the last few years, I see that child photography has gone, several notches higher. You're talking about props, you're talking about costumes and stuff like that. This prop thing, I believe there's a props industry now, right?
Yeah.
So how do you manage these things?
So with props, it's by the idea you have, or I have.
Well, every project pays for the props.
Yes, and some projects are paid for the future ones. You just buy props not even knowing when you would use it, because you just feel like it will come in handy.
By instinct, like.
Yes, exactly.
I must need this someday.
Yes, so with props, in fact, some of my colleagues, we've told ourselves, this year we're not buying props. All lies, because you see this really cute thing and you're like, it's so cute and tiny. Just imagine the child post on it like this or like this, and you're like, I'm gonna get
bam,
it.
you bought it.
Yes, you bought it. So it's a never-ending game, because you want your images to look different. You want your style to keep evolving. So you need to keep purchasing every time.
All right. So how do you also, scale up your technical competence in this?
I'm constantly feeding myself.
How?
Workshops, by associating with the right group of people and researching pretty much. Yeah. So I remember there was a time Bayo Moborewo was at my space and I was editing a picture and he says, "Oh, this is nice." He said, "But there's a problem." A whole Bayo telling you there's a problem.
There must be a problem.
He said, "It looks very Nigerian." I'm like, he said, "I can see that you follow a lot of Nigerian content. If you want to, you need to separate yourself. I know that you need to separate yourself. You need to, you need to feed for me." I'm like, okay. So from there I knew, you can't just sit down on Instagram feeds alone. That was pretty much in the earlier years. So I started being intentional. So I wasn't now following just child photographers anymore. So I wasn't following just Nigerian photographers. So you look for international photographers. You're looking for portrait photographers. You're looking for art. I'm looking for art-related photographers. Picking a bit of this, sort of merging it together, because there's something that I'm seeing that I want to depict, right? So yes, recently I went for Big H's workshop, Follow the Light. Big H doesn't shoot children. So people are like, "Adesuwa, what are you going to do there?" I'm like, it's beyond just that. And coming back, people can see that there's this difference in my work. Yes, so it's knowing that you have a value to give and people expect that value. So you have to put in the sacrifice. You have to make the sacrifice. If it means you becoming friends with a Big H, how do you do that? I could have picked up my phone and just called him, but it's the sacrifice of attending his workshop. He says, there's a level of interest this person wants, and one way or the other, you find yourself in his space. If it means you gifting a colleague you admire, a senior colleague, something. I mean, people are very sentimental. So if I send you a journal, you remember that, and Adesuwa gave me a journal. So it's finding the right association, finding a way to get into their space.
Child photography, equipment or props?
Props.
Wow. So what percentage of your revenue do you put into props?
I don't have an account officer, so I cannot say. So I cannot categorically tell you that.
Well, give me a sense.
On a scale of 1 to 100, I would say maybe 60, 70.
So I can imagine that you have a very large prop store.
Yes.
Who sorts that out for you? Because, I mean, it can be so convoluting. Like, we used this prop like in February 3 years ago. Where is it?
I have the best team of young students. Two of them recently got admission into University of Lagos. So I was pretty much stuck. Like, I'll call, "Hello, T. You know that background we use for this shoot? Hey, where is it?" Say, "Okay, ma, check this corner, check this thing." So they do pretty much the inventory. So I created the system of, let's keep such things here, keep such things there. My team really helps me out on that.
There is also the importance of being able to partner with other people in doing certain projects. So recently you were part of a national project. It's called Wazobia. Tell us about that.
It was very impromptu, right? I think we shot few days to independence. That's how impromptu it was. So earlier in the year, I didn't have the idea. I was just thinking, it would be nice to put out an independence-related picture, right? And from there, ideas started building up. What was coming more to me was unity. I just knew there was a need to get it done. If it was for that season, I do not know. If it was for seasons to come, I do not know. But I just knew I had to get it done. I just called up a parent and said, "Oh, Ma, I'm trying to work on this project. It's rather impromptu. Can your daughter be a model?" She said, "Oh, yes, sure. What's it about?" So I told her what it was about, the necessity to foster unity and hope, because people look at Nigeria and say there's no hope, and so nothing good can come out of Nigeria. And taking my sister by her word to her Uber driver recently, she says, "Oh, the Uber driver is like, oh, nothing good can come out of Nigeria." And she's like, "Yes, that's what people said about Jesus until something good came out of Nazareth. So there's still hope." Wow. Yeah, so glory. So, wow. So it took a long time, but something good still came out. So I called my team, rallied everyone, got a friend who's a poet to write out a script pretty much for me. And I think there was one line, it said, "Hope is not lost, only hidden in our dreams." And it was about that time then the whole NSAS thing started, and we could suddenly see the unity.
I think Sunday, 29th August 2021, you and a few child photographers, newborn child photographers got together. So, yes.
I feel stalked, guys.
I'm happy I got the right. Yeah, I got the response I wanted. Okay, so it's not like I'm stalking.
No, I get, just teasing.
But it's just interesting that a sub-niche group of professionals are coming together. What was all that about?
So I'm very keen on growth, and I noticed that in the photography industry, there's a lot of individualistic mentality where people just want to do things on their own.
In silence.
Yeah, you don't want someone to come and steal your lighting technique or your camera setting. And it's little drops of water that make a mighty ocean, yes? So we start small. So let's start with the child photographers, my genre. So, like I said, I'm a people person. So people tease me that, who don't you know? Because I'm constantly reaching out to add value to the next person. Not necessarily because I want to take, but because I know that there's something I can offer. I think there's this saying or this ideology that the grave is where a lot of talent, a lot of resources are. So if I go to the grave today and all those ideas just go with it, what's the point? So let's just dispense everything. So hence the child photographer hangout.
People say retainerships are good for business, and I know that you have quite a bit. How, in your years of practice, would you say if a photographer does this and does this, you're most likely going to have a sustainable business?
Follow-up and communication.
Expatiate.
Making your client feel special.
Well, how do you strike a balance between making them feel special and sucking up to them? You know, it's a very thin line, isn't it?
Well, for me, it's just me being me, like I said. So making them feel special is something that I saw my parents do for everyone, especially my mom. She's like a people person, so I saw her really make everyone who comes into the house feel special. So it's something that translated into business for me. So let them go back home with an experience, pretty much, right? So, so there's the during the session and after the session experience. So it's once you are done with the session, send for selections. Most of the time it's birthdays, right? So send for selections, they select, deliver it. It's now, sending a celebratory message. Make them feel like, she thought of my child today, she thought of us today. If there are special holidays in the year, send them a message. Out of the blues, pop up a message. Just follow up, just communicate. Pretty much still keeping your name in their heart.
Subconscious.
Yes. Not because we don't want them to go to other people, which we don't, but because we want them to feel special.
So we'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll see what's in Adesuwa's bag. Welcome back to the Camera Lounge, and we're still talking with our very first lady photographer on the show, and that's Adesuwa. You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
Now, so this is that time where we find out what's in your bag that you use to create these magical pictures that you create every time. But before then, let's take a look at some of the pictures that you have taken. This is just sweet.
Yes.
More like she's looking back and saying, who said that?
So this was an error shot. Yes, so we're just testing lights, and I just loved how moody it felt. And wow. The parents wanted something vintage. So they came with the outfit, got the hairstylist, and the lights worked perfectly well. Oh wow, great. Okay, our star child. Wow. This is Ogoluwakiton. Daddy sent a brief that he wanted a Greek theme, and wow. And I hadn't seen what the child looked like, so I'm like, okay, no problem. Greek, what's the outfit? Sent me the outfit. Can I get a picture of him? And I saw the baby. I'm like, I love it. I'm going to go all out for it. So. And he played the role so well. He carried that. He has the. Yeah, he carried all the CBA traits. Yeah. Class, elegance, luxury, grace. Great, but I'm going to ask you a question though. It's a fair child. Now look at the hair, and then you have him against a completely white background. Technically, how did you manage that? Well, I think what came to my mind is if our Oyinbo people shoot this and the people are white, who am I not to be able to do it? Yeah. Yeah, so pretty much right exposures, that was what went. So light the back right and fill up for him and you're good to go. Yeah. All right, so let's see the set of gears that you use to create this beautiful shot. Okay. I've seen different sizes of bags. We do little humans, so our bag is not that proud. But powerful. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. So I use an EOS R. Okay. This is one of the latest from Canon. The latest is the R5. Yes, but the R series. Yes, the mirrorless series. Yeah. Oh wow, so what lens is on it? This is the adapter for the EF lens. Okay. Yeah, so we haven't gotten the RF lens, like the lenses made for. Okay, so body. Right now you're using the adapters. Yes. So that you can use the lenses. The older lenses I have already, yes. Oh wow, it looks like some 35. Yeah, exactly, yes. That's why I thought it was a lens. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Great, it's quite handy. Yes, very light. What ranges of lenses do you use? 2 lenses, 50mm and the 24-70. So that's all you need? Yes, pretty much. To get close-ups, to get wide. Great. Simple but great result. And that will be the show for today. We've had Adesuwa of Captured by Adesuwa on the show today, our very first lady on the show. Thank you for coming. And that's it on the show for today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Adesuwa. Bye now. Lights, camera, action.